All right, welcome to another episode of Call Center Stories. I'm your co-host and CX Cowboy, Eric Sims, along with my partner in crime, as I like to call him, John Juliano. John, good day, sir.
Good day to you. I
Looks
like the
like it's another day nice enough to stay in Buffalo again. I mean, outside in Buffalo.
yeah, we have a heat wave. Heat index of 110 today. So
I saw that in the news, bro. That's like unheard of up there. Well, not unheard of because it can get hot, but that's pretty hot this early, right?
yeah, we've had 5 days in the 90s, and typically we experience about 10 days in the 90s all summer. So we're knocked half of it out already, and it's not even officially summer yet.
Well, I'll make sure I do more recycling to
Yeah.
try to help out with that for next year. Um, hey, so we got for to do another show, gonna do some fun stuff.
Hang on. What the hell are you drinking out of?
It's my new Stanley. I got this for Father's Day from the kids.
Did it come with a matching purse?
The girls, it came with a two pair of panties
Yeah.
and a matching purse.
I cannot believe you're
So
drinking it. Stanley.
yeah, no, it's cool. The girls got it, the kids got it for me.
Oh, that's
And
cool then.
so
I can't rip on it too hard then.
yeah. So can't rag on it too hard.
Yeah.
Anyway. Um, So anyway, as we're doing the show, what do you want? Do you got any articles? I know you had some stuff you pulled up. You sent me earlier, so I know you. I'm asking the obvious question, but what articles are we looking at today, and which ones first?
So circling back to our last episode about, I believe it was the Ecuadorian prison takeover. Uh,
Guatemala.
Guatemala,
It
that's
was
what it was. Thank you,
Guatemala. Don't
Guatemala.
don't lump the
I, I,
Ecuadorians in with
I,
the
I
Guatemalan gangs.
my
Actually,
apologies to our
they're very
Ecuadorian
they may be
audience.
even rivals. It's like Bloods and Crips or something like that, and we could cause some type of major international catastrophe by you doing that.
Yeah, we
So
can't have that. So my
yeah,
apologies to the Ecuadorians.
yeah.
The Guatemalan prison takeover that was converted into a call center. So kind of parlaying and segueing from that episode into this episode, we have a really good article about reforming. Uh,
Reform. Oh, well, we talked about that bill they were doing too a while back. So, um, I can be a citizen in society. New call center for people re-entering society takes more than 100 callers on first day.
yeah, so
Awesome.
pretty cool program, right? It was 100% funded by grants and donations. So the purpose of the call center is to provide support for individuals that were incarcerated who are looking to get back on their feet. So it allows them to call and try to find jobs and get housing and kind of get back to where they want to be in life. So I thought it was a pretty cool article, and it's a cool story that this industry is doing some good stuff as well. The call center world is not just necessary evil. It's doing some positive for individuals who
Yeah.
deserve a chance.
The call center is open from 9 to 6, Monday through Friday. Where is this located?
North Carolina.
All right. Oh, there it is. That's right there. Good job, North Carolina. So these guys, and is it guys, men and women? I'm assuming they
Yeah, I don't think
get out of prison and then they have. So there it says, it says he used to call center after serving 8. Oh, so that guy was in 8 years. So man, that's can you imagine how much like? So it's really great because I've worked with personally worked with release programs, and like the first call center I worked for and the one that you and I both worked for together, we had a really cool program that we worked with Goodwill on that, right? Like Goodwill had their transitional living, people coming out of prison, and we hired a lot of those people. And I'll say, like, you get some really talented, hardworking people that are, their ceilings really high. Like they may have made some mistakes in their life. Not may, I mean they have, but they still have potential to turn their life around and do something great. And we had a lot of great people come through that program that some of them ended up being managers and leaders, and at one point in time leaving and going and starting their own companies, other stuff like that. So
yeah.
pretty cool. And they're getting funding from grants and donations, which is awesome. I wonder what type of call center work they're doing. Does it say?
No, it's just a call center that they've built, and the only purpose of this call center is to just help the former inmates get back on their feet. So it's not an outsourced contact center; it's a
Yeah.
in-house call center. Yeah,
Oh, it's a hotline. I see it there.
right.
So it's kind of
Yeah,
hotline. Yeah, but
yeah,
you got to think. I mean, dude, you've been in like that. That guy was 8 years, right?
right.
So rewind 8 years and imagine what technology, the work environment, life was like. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot, and I think that's why a lot of these guys fail. Um, and the recidivism rate is so high nationally. Is that when people get out, there's a lack of resources. They have a lack of resources. They may have like really educated themselves or worked hard while they're in there, but there's only so much you're going to get out of being inside. Like as far as working in a work environment, right? Like you're not going to get that while you're locked up. And you're probably going to get some access to technology, but not full, right? So
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
yeah.
I wonder what the long-term plan for that is.
I'm not sure, but if anyone's interested in reaching out or is in need to reach out, the number's listed here, and the
Yeah.
hours of operation are listed here as well.
Yeah, they should do more of these.
Yeah.
We should look into more of these. Like, I wonder if any other states have stuff like this. I know that there's some where like you can work in, like even the Salvation Army Men's Rehabilitation Center had their own call center that guys could work in, right? Like they would take the calls for the guys to go pick stuff up and things like that, which was really helpful. Because I mean, we've talked about this before, but call center work's not easy, and again, they're dealing with a hotline. So I don't know what it may be, but being able to deal with repetitious, potentially upset people, different dynamics, um, from a therapeutic standpoint is extremely helpful. I mean, my background, I came out of like, um, years of drug addiction and alcohol addiction. So when I got into I'm speaking from a personal sense, really, but when I got into the call center, that was one of the things that really helped me early on was dealing with different emotions, different people and their emotions, dealing with the work day, people telling you what to do, having to be somewhere at a certain time and do what you're supposed to do in those environments, and all the things that go with that like functional human beings may or may not even be aware that they're doing each day. Like, for me, it was like school all over again, right? Like life school. So that's
Yeah.
cool. They're giving them an environment to do that in. Because again, I think that's just on my experience, it's the biggest gap for not just prison to life reentry, but like I'll say in drug addiction recovery, things like that. Like there needs to be more space in society for people to reacclimate, right? Productively reacclimate versus making a huge jump. So anyway, if you're watching this, love to hear your thoughts on programs like this and this program specifically. And also if you know of any other programs in your state, that may be helping people out that are similar to that, or other call centers that are doing stuff like that, would be good to know about. We want to be able to promote that and promote those businesses, and um, make sure that people know the good that's happening out there in the industry. But that's cool. It's a good story. Good find.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got the feel good stuff going on today with that one. Is there anything else associated with that, or any topic else you want to cover while we're on this episode?
No, I think our next episode should be a good one as well. I think we're gonna get into some stuff that's going on with AI and some
Oh, that's a hot topic.
yeah, some pretty creative innovations that have been launched. And yeah, it'll be fun.
Very cool. Well, this may be a quickie episode if we just covered that one. Yeah, if you like our show, obviously, we want you to subscribe, like, share, tell other people about it, let people know what we're doing, and hopefully you find some of this humorous, some of it informational, and educational, or maybe just something you don't mind sitting through in a break. Um, one of the things I was thinking of, John, was around the call center business was, um, just the growth pattern for people. off of that article, like, right, like our industry is kind of unique in the sense that it offers, I think it does, it offers opportunities to the unstereotypical person, right? I think
Yeah.
it's in my mind still one of the few industries left out there that even if you get into a larger mid-sized company, the red tape around you've got to have a master's degree or you've got to have that, this or that, really doesn't exist. It says it doesn't hurt you to have those things, but it's also not really required in a lot of positions. I mean, if you're a CFO or a CLO or something like that, or maybe an HR person, but you know, when you look at like operational management and IT and things like that, it's still one of the, I think one of the fertile frontiers for people who are love variety, love the challenge, love to grow, to do that, you know, just based off what we've seen. What do you think?
I completely agree. I mean, listen, no kid runs around their backyard saying, I want to get into the call center industry, right? Like it's nobody's goal and aspirations as a child. And if it is, then you should probably talk to someone. But when you stumble into the industry and you experience all the things that it offers, not just the opportunities for advancement, but the camaraderie and that team unity and kind of family feel at some of the BPOs or some of the contact centers. It's unlike any other industry. Um, yeah, so I couldn't agree more. I think it
Yeah,
gives opportunities to individuals who are willing to put in the work, pull up their sleeves, and do the job without the political BS and nonsense of your traditional companies.
yeah. I think one of the things that people may not know about it, like especially if you're not familiar with outsourced contact center work, right? Like in-house work, it's a little more traditional in the sense of like it's one company with one line of services and products or multiple lines of services and products, but you're bleeding one brand. They do it one way typically. And the variety and diversity from a work standpoint is probably far more linear and singular than it would be in an outsourced situation. An outsourced situation like John and I are in and have been, just for the viewers' understanding, is you know you're in one business, but your business is conducting business for 1, 10, 20 other companies who may be in 10 different industries running all God knows all types of businesses, and then you're maybe servicing them on like technical support, customer service, sales, technology provisioning, all kinds of stuff like that. So like what I enjoyed about it, I go back to like I don't think there's ever been anything in my life, it came at the right time, was I've literally worked, I can have one job with one company, but I can work in 5 or 6 industries in the course of a year, and I learn about those industries. I learn about those businesses. I become somewhat of a subject matter expert on a lot of that stuff,
Yep.
um, while becoming a core expert like CX or whatever that is. So like you walk away with it, or you gain. I shouldn't say walk away because who knows what that happened, but you gain an immense amount of experience, um, in a variety of verticals that there's no possible way you could get it. I don't know that you can get that in any other business, but maybe consulting. But then when you go into consulting, you've got to be an expert at something already to be able to go do that. So I don't know that there's anything that awards you the opportunity to like touch so much out there.
Yeah, the skills that you garner in the industry are so transferable. You can work uh, for an airline client as an example, and kind of learn their company culture and learn what works for them. Then you can work for a retail client, learn their culture and what works for them, and then share best practices between two completely different industries that traditionally wouldn't communicate with each other,
Yeah.
and educate them and help them, increase their experience overall because you've taken away some, best practices from another industry.
Yeah. Anyway, just something I thought of. It's pretty cool. And I, again, going back to those guys coming out of prison, like they've missed a lot of time, and it's almost like I think of those like condensed courses in college where you go in and you're like, hey, I'm going to take a whole semester in a week or 3 weeks or whatever it is they do, right? Like that's what I looked at it from like a business standpoint. I was like, I got 10 years worth of stuff in 2. And it's like
Yeah.
drinking through a fire hydrant, and you've got to really get comfortable with like failing, or at least the fear of failing, which is another thing that's really helpful. Um, I think one of the things that helped, guys like you or guys like me be successful in those environments, and other guys that we know, like Kevin McKay comes to mind, like great guy. He was a dice roller at times, like, he went out and be an entrepreneur now too, right? Like, um, these were guys that, um, weren't afraid to try new and different things and explore and push the limits in a good way. So, anyway, I'd say
Yeah.
there's a lot to gain in that environment. I think if you're a young person and you don't know what you want to do and you don't know what business you want to be in, um, it may be worth exploring like an outsourced contact center situation for a couple of years, because you're gonna be able to dabble in so many departments and so many industries and so many verticals that you may walk out of there and be like, dude, I got to work on this project. I learned a whole bunch, and now I've got a whole bunch of experience to go back to that industry and say, I had this job for X amount of years, but I've also actually worked in your industry as a support mechanism and 5 other industries that I bring in. And so your resume is real meaty, coming out of that.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. Well, hey, off to the next episode. We hope you guys are enjoying these. We keep them conversational, but leave us your comments, leave us your thoughts, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Call Center Stories. Bye-bye.